All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever felt like you're being left behind just because you can't quite get your words out right, you've come to the right place. Being a confident communicator is honestly one of the most powerful skills you can have. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can build it.
Now just let that sink in for a second. It's a pretty wild statement, right? But it perfectly captures a modern truth. In our generation, being able to connect and speak clearly isn't just some soft skill anymore. It's a legitimate superpower that can totally change the entire course of your life.
And here's the crazy part. It all comes down to simple supply and demand. Right now, especially if you're under 25, there is a huge demand for people who can communicate well, but the supply, it's super, super low. And you know what that means? When supply is low, you don't even have to be the best in the world. You just have to be okay to get a massive advantage.
And the rewards for getting this right are no joke. I mean, the stats don't lie. Better communicators land better jobs, they make more money, and yeah, they attract higher quality partners. So the stakes here are incredibly high.
So what's holding so many of us back then? Well, the source material for this explainer gives us this brilliant way to think about it. We're going to call it the clogged pipe problem.
Okay, so picture this. Your natural ability to speak, that's a pipe. In the quality of your communication, your humor, your ideas, your personality, that's the water that's trying to flow through it. But for a lot of us, that pipe is all clogged up with gunk. And that gunk, that's all the anxiety, the fear of judgment, the insecurity. It literally blocks the flow, no matter how good the water is.
And here's a perfect example of how that gunk actually builds up. The author of our source material, at 12 years old, was a super confident school captain, a great public speaker, but then, a few months later, a bad relationship experience filled him with all this jealousy and anxiety. That insecurity became the gunk that started clogging his pipe, and his natural ability to communicate just tanked.
So, listen, this is the most important part. If you struggle to express yourself, the problem isn't that you're not talented or that you don't have anything interesting to say. The problem is the blockage. You could be the most brilliant person in the room, but if that gunk is there, it'll just feel like something is stuck in your throat holding you back.
All right, so if the problem is a blockage, the first step is pretty obvious, right? We've got to start clearing out the gunk. And this is all about digging in and finding the root cause of why it's even there in the first place.
And this is where you got to be really honest with yourself. Ask yourself, why am I so scared to talk to that person? Why can't I seem to speak up in meetings? Is it some past failure, a fear of being judged? Just figuring out where that anxiety is coming from is the first crucial step to making it go away.
Now here's a really practical, powerful way to start clearing that gunk out. Work on your appearance. And look, this is not about being vain. It's about the fact that when you feel good on the outside, you're way more free to express how you feel on the inside. Getting a good haircut, wearing clothes that actually fit you well, taking care of your health, all these little things build an internal confidence that helps flush out the insecurity that's clogging your pipe.
Okay, so let's move on to the next step. Once you start clearing the gunk out of the pipe, you also want to improve the quality of the water that's flowing through it. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of communication itself.
This right here is an absolute game changer. Your intention creates the tension in a conversation. See, if you walk into a conversation trying to get something, like validation or a date or someone's approval, you create this awkward, needy tension. But if you just shift your intention to simply connecting with the other person, just to learn about them, the whole dynamic flips. The tension becomes this positive, easygoing flow. Next up, and this one's huge, read more books. It does two amazing things for you. First, it blows up your vocabulary. It's really hard to be a great communicator if you're stuck using the same basic words over and over. Reading gives you more tools in your toolbox. And second, as you're reading, you're basically mentally rehearsing the act of speaking, which studies show directly makes you better at it in the real world. And now for what is probably the single most powerful tool for getting better. Because at the end of the day, nothing beats practice. The author of our source material actually recorded himself when he first started out, and then again 3 years later. The difference in his confidence, his flow, his tone, it is literally night and day, and it all came from one simple habit. And here's how you can do the exact same thing. Just pull out your phone and talk to the camera for like 5 or 10 minutes every single day. You don't have to show it to anyone, just use it like a personal video journal to talk about your day. You can even post the videos as private on YouTube. The point is, you're getting the reps in and building that fluency in a totally zero-pressure environment.
So you see, when you put all these pieces together, it's not just a bunch of random tips. It becomes a simple, really powerful system. Basically a cheat code for rapidly improving how you connect with everyone around you. So let's just recap those 4 key actions real quick. Number 1, set the right intention. Aim to connect, not to get. 2, read more books to build your vocabulary. 3, improve your appearance to boost that internal confidence and clear out the gunk. And number 4, practice talking on camera every single day.
And that brings us to the final and most important point. Knowing all this stuff is useless if you don't do anything with it. So, as you think about your own clogged pipe, I want you to ask yourself this one question. What's the first piece of gunk you're going to start clearing out today?